In human life in our midst. Country of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a country of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a country of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving. Country of peace, where government shall rest on the will of the people, and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable members, we'll move straight to item 5. Correction of votes and proceedings and official report. Start with the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 29th October 2025. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to the Constitution in Article 102. 102 of the 1992 Constitution. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I read, a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all members of Parliament present. Mr. Speaker, looking at the House, we are 276, and 1/3 of 276 is 92. We are only 70 in the chamber. And for that matter, Mr. Speaker, I urge you to apply the rules that we don't have quorum, as stated in Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution, to continue with this Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I so pray that the right thing is being done. Yesterday, you cautioned all of us media houses carried it, that if we are not serious to continue business, we shouldn't let Ghanaians think same. And at the moment, out of 276, we are only 70 in the chamber, and the Constitution have made it clear. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge you to apply the rules as stated in Article 102 of the 1992 Constitution.
Yes. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I rise not to challenge the appeal that has been made by my brother, the Member of Parliament for Tolong, except to say that, Mr. Speaker, I think that it is a huge indictment on the leadership of the House, especially my brother, who is also the Chief Whip, the Deputy Chief Whip, the Deputy Whip of the minority side. When I look on their side, I do not see their members present, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the pecs, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the pecs, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the pecs that they enjoy as leaders is to ensure that they also, especially as whips, they ensure that their members are present. Mr. Speaker, this house is not made up of only majority members of Parliament. This house is made up of two parties, and we expect that our numbers be present, but we also expect that the minority that have also been voted to represent their constituents are marshaled to be in the House. So, Mr. Speaker, I am disappointed in the leadership of the whip that he's not able to whip his side to be on the floor, and he's advertising it the way he is doing. Thank you very much.
Let me listen first to the Honourable Member for Damango before I come to Majority Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we're all in this chamber. And Mr. Speaker, you had reason to admonish all of us to take our duties as members of Parliament seriously. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Minority Chief Whip alluded to that, and indeed, it's been widely covered by the media. The Speaker even went to the extent of publishing the names of 28 people who have missed Parliament for a certain number of days. Mr. Speaker, I think it's important for us to make two fundamental points. The first one, Mr. Speaker, the composition of this Parliament is a very special one, and it's never happened in the history of our country before. Mr. Speaker, we have for the first time in the Fourth Republic a Parliament where a particular group has a super majority. Mr. Speaker, they have two-thirds. Two-thirds. It's never happened in the Fourth Republican dispensation before. Two-thirds. Mr. Speaker, of the 276 members of Parliament, the majority side, the NDC side, has 189 members of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you are as old as this Parliament, as this legislature. Mr. Speaker, it's never happened before. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, this House mostly deals with government business. And that is why the majority leader is mostly referred to as the leader of government business. Mr. Speaker, and throughout this session of Parliament, the first meeting, the second meeting, and the third meeting, our friends from the other side, 189 of them, consistently, they do not attend to the House. They do not. Ghanaians, Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians, in fact, Mr. Speaker, the NDC side, the majority side, Can one form quorum on their own, Mr. Speaker? Can two have enough members of parliament to conduct business? Mr. Speaker, three, they can have enough members of parliament to take most fundamental decisions, and yet they don't come to parliament. Mr. Speaker, I have in my hand here the order paper for 30th October 2025. And Mr. Speaker, in this order paper, you have very important government businesses listed to be taken today, the 30th October 2020. Government business, so many of them. And Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, let me point out some of them. Mr. Speaker, papers are to be laid. The scholarship scheme of our country, where students, the welfare of students is to be discussed here in this house. Government business. And yet they don't come to parliament. 189 of them, super majority, 2/3 of parliament. They say we are micro minority. Numbers, quantities, Mr. Speaker, and yet they cannot carry government business through. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by submitting. The Ghanaian people killed. The Ghanaian people stood in the sun on December 7th. The Ghanaian people gave them an extraordinary mandate. The Ghanaian people gave them 189 members of parliament because they want President Mohammed's business and agenda to go through this house without any hindrance. And yet, they cannot produce 90 of the 189 of them to form quorum for us to proceed to conduct business in this house. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, this majority, this 189 of them, the quantity, I want to conclude by saying this is an absent super majority, an absent 189 majority. They can do better, and they should feel embarrassed, not us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker. Speaker, respectfully, your attention has been drawn to an alleged absence of quorum in pursuance of Order 64, Rule 3. Speaker, the member drawing your attention referenced the Constitution in Article 102 simpliciter. But Article 102 is given effect to in Order 64 for standing orders. Speaker, particularly in Order 64.3, what the member did is in consonance of that. But then it gives you the opportunity to ascertain the veracity of the basis for raising the matter within the premise of Article 102. Mr. Speaker. Speaker, with your leave, may I read? At Order 64, Rule 3 says, a member may draw the attention of the person presiding at any time during a sitting. Please, can you, please, I listen to you in silence. So please listen to me in silence. Now, Mr. Speaker, the order further says that members present in the House constitutes less than 1/3 of the number of all the members of Parliament. So we raised an issue about a commencement quorum. Speaker, 4 says, the person presiding shall direct the clerks at the table to cause the bell to be rung. B, continue, please, stop this. Please. You are seeking to do propaganda with this matter. But we will set this matter, please. We will set this matter within the law. Speaker, so 4B says, you will continue the business of the House for a period of 10 minutes. Speaker, may I further proceed? C,
you direct the clerks at the table to conduct a head count of members present. And D, if there is still no quorum, suspend the sitting of the House for a period of no more than 1 hour. Speaker 5, if on resumption of the sitting, there is still no quorum upon the conduct of a head count, the House shall stand adjourned until the next sitting day without question being put. So, Speaker, instead of my brother Abu making his arguments within the premise of the law, Speaker, he decides to do propaganda. Yesterday we did business, government business, we conducted government business on this floor. Now, please, Speaker, please. This is the evidence of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, there were 176 members of this House. 176. The records will bear us out. So the propaganda that the mighty minority are absent is not borne out by the records. The mighty majority are absent is not borne out by the record. So when issues are raised, Mr. Speaker, these are matters of procedure. We cannot sidestep the procedure and do otherwise. It is good you have proceeded within 64(3). You are drawing Mr. Speaker's attention to an alleged absence of the adequate numbers for a commencement quorum. The law provides what should be done. I believe the Right Honorable Speaker will direct the clerks at table to ring the bell. The numbers will come in and will proceed. Now, Mr. Speaker, having said this, I believe that yesterday you had cause to encourage members to attend upon the House at 2 p.m. Speaker, before we adjourn, the records will bear me out that I drew the attention of leadership of committees. Speaker, we have discovered that leaders of committees are arranging committee business in the afternoon, when we have all agreed that committee businesses should be arranged in the morning, so that when it is 2 p.m., we'll be ready to conduct business at plenary. Speaker, today's order paper again shows that there are advertised meetings of committees for the afternoon, when we had encouraged them that they should shift the afternoon sittings of committees to the morning, so that in the afternoon we'll have adequate numbers at plenary. So, Speaker, we implore leaders of committees, chairmen and ranking members, that they should arrange committee businesses from about 9 a.m. up to about midday, so that by 1 p.m. we'll be ready to start business at 2 p.m. We are depleted because of the committee sittings. As we speak, public accounts is sitting. They just adjourn for the day. A committee on state interest is sitting. A committee on communications also sat. And others are also sitting. So, Mr. Speaker, committee numbers on the average are about 24. So if you have 3 committees sitting, that is in excess of 75 plus. So we encourage the committee members to conduct business in the morning, so that in the afternoons we'll be ready. But, Mr. Speaker, I can assure my brother that we have the numbers to start business. The bell has gone, and they will be here. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Honorable members, I thought you have permitted me to give effect to our standing orders by directing the clerks at table to cause the bell to be rung. It was very obvious when we started that the numbers actually fell far below a quorum, but our rules are clear on that. And so I direct that the bell be rung, and they've given us minutes to proceed, only 10 minutes. So if you actually meant what you were doing, you should have allowed this to take place. And by this time, the 10 minutes would have been gone. But knowing your business, you continued your usual way. So please, clerks at will cause the bell to be rung, and then we'll continue with the business. I have my timing here, and when it's 10 minutes, we'll count to see what number we have on the floor. And that will determine whether we adjourn or we continue with business. As you direct, clerks at table, please. Honorable members, in the meantime, we have, you can see our gallery is full. We have a number of visitors with us. The first group, I'm told, is from Youth Empowerment Consortium. They are being led by one of my colleagues, who is referred to as Speaker. So I have a colleague here at the public gallery leading the delegation from Youth Empowerment Consortium. The leader of the group is Adam Suhuyini Salifu. And we have as many as 135 of them present here. Let me, on your behalf, warmly welcome them to the Parliament of Ghana, particularly our plenary session, and to encourage them to continue to visit us from time to time. Today, you just had a bit of a taste of what happens here. Whether what you hear on radio or what you see on TV is what actually happens here. You have experienced it yourself. And so please, it's our pleasure to have you, and we believe that in future you surmount all these challenges this current generation is facing. You may resume your seats. We have another delegation from Asikuma Odobing Brakwa. That's the constituency we call AOB. Any other business. The group is led by the head teacher, and they are from Brakwa Methodist Basic School. The name of the head teacher is Abigail Jane Sam. I think that should be head mistress. Abigail Jane Sam. Oh, yes, head mistress. Yes, you are most welcome. Sorry we kept all of you waiting because we were trying to manage a few things behind the scenes. This is your parliament. You are welcome anytime, and we want to encourage you to continue to do this. We thank you for bringing all these students to observe what happens here. You may resume your seats. There are 55 in number, 55. That's a lot of cost. The third group is from they come from all over the country, and they are the winners of the 2025 National Public Speaking Competition, which is usually organized by DD Global. I'm one of the patrons of this competition, and annually, for and on your behalf, we have been supporting the competition. They came today to receive their prizes, and for us to think over it, I need to congratulate on your behalf the organizers of this competition. They are quite forceful, and they put a lot of pressure on me on a yearly basis. I saw two of them today again, but they are being led by their coordinator, Beta, Amano. They are 40 in number. And so we just finished having the session with them at the Right Honorable Justice D.F. Annan Auditorium. And they came to me to make the presentations. That took a bit of our time. You are most welcome, and you are learning better than us because that's the journey you are already going through. Advocacy, how to speak in public. And I can tell you, these young guys up there, they are very excellent. And they can beat a lot of us here, including myself. So congratulations. Please, you may resume your seats. We have the last group coming from Pun Katamanso. They are 64 in number, and they are coming from the East Bank School Complex. They are led by the teacher by name Adriana Sam. As I said, there are 64 in number coming from Pun Katamanso. You are also welcome, and we encourage you to come more. These are rather younger breed, and it's good to catch them young. Please kindly resume your seats. Honorable members, it's even more than 10 minutes now. I think we take a count to see whether we now have a quorum. Please, clerks at table, do so now. Honorable members, please stop the movement. It's making it difficult for us to take the count. Honorable members, the clerk has submitted a number to me after taking the count. And the number I have here is 103. 103. So, honorable members, we have a quorum to proceed with the business of the House. I accordingly proceed to take item 6. Item 6 on the order paper. Leadership, yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister for Transport is here. Minister, the Minister for Transport is here. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs is also here. So, Mr. Speaker, we are ready for all the questions to be asked today.
So, honorable members, we'll start with the urgent questions. Who stands in the name of the honorable member for Pro East, Mr. Emmanuel Kweku Boom? Sorry.
Mr. Speaker, I think the majority leader is leading fast, moving fast, and I wanted guidance because we didn't do item 5, correction of votes and proceedings, and we are already moving to item 6. I haven't actually heard any variation in the order of business. And then if we...
Yes, honorable member, thanks for reminding us. We didn't complete the correction of votes and proceedings, and this issue was raised because of the nature of our standing orders. So you are right, we'll have to complete the correction of votes and proceedings. I think I just started page 1, and he had to raise the lack of forum. Now that we have the quorum, we'll continue. Page 1, page 2, Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, let me help my colleagues. On page 7, item 70, the Honorable Rashid Pelpo, Doctor, the Minister, yesterday he was in the chamber at the consideration stage of the scholarship bill. I think he even made contribution to that, but he has been captured absent, and I think he was in the chamber yesterday.
Is the honorable member around?
Speaker, the Honorable Dr. Pelpu has just stepped out, but he's in the chamber.
So table office, kindly take note of that. Page 8. Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, on page 8, under item 6, formal communication by the Speaker, the last 3 words, the word standing orders didn't appear correctly. It is standing orders. So we only have to delete the R so that we have the standing orders. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Table office, I'm sure you located the error, so kindly take note. Page 9. Page 10. Yes, page 10.
Speaker, thank you so much. Speaker, just a minor observation. If you look at question 372 at page 10, the question stood in the name of the member for Ekwapim North. The manner in which Ekwapim is spelled here compared to the next, which is 382, the spellings are different. And I think for the sake of consistency, the clerks at table should take note. Thank you.
So which is the correct one?
Speaker, I think respectfully, it's a settled debate. The member once told us the one spelled with E. The E after P. The member once told the House that that is how his constituency is spelled. Thank you.
Yes, honorable members, we're taught by different tutors, and we're given both spelling. In fact, there are even more. But your second point, consistency, is something that should prevail here. At least if we are adopting one, we should adopt one with the I or with the E or with the W or whatever. But here, the W one is not in issue. And so please, either we take the E or we take the I. But once the MP is insisting that it's the E, that is the correct one, I think we should be guided by that. So clerks at table, kindly take note and keep on spelling it properly as demanded by the Member of Parliament, who is the authorized representative in this House. Page 11. Yes, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, on page 11, item 10, presentation of a paper. The name of the ministry. I think that this current administration changed the name from the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development to Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture. There's no development. So I will be happy if the table of the class will check to be sure whether the ministry has development as part of it or not. Thank you.
Yes, please. Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, the work of the table office is to capture the documents as they are titled. And this is a report of the 2024. In 2024, it was Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. That was how come the Auditor General's report captured it that way. So it's not a report in respect of activities from 2025. So how the report is captured, they cannot capture it differently. Unless you are arguing that you've seen the report and it is not titled Annual Statement by the Audit Committee of the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development for the year 2024.
My point is that if you look at the sentence, the following paper was presented by the Honorable Minister for Education, Mr. Haruna Iddrisu, on behalf of the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. He did so on behalf of the minister. And I'm saying that this ministry has changed, unless I'm wrong. So if Haruna Iddrisu is presenting it on behalf of this minister, it could not be on behalf of the minister during the prior era. So it should be Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture. If that is the name of the ministry, that should be. That is my position on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Clerks at table, kindly check whether the ministry is still having development as part of its name or not, and then do the right thing. Page 12. Yes, Honorable Member.
Speaker, thank you so much. Item 8, page 12. Clause 25 is a standalone clause, so therefore should come without the letter S. It shouldn't be clauses. It should be clause 25. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable Member is right. Table office kindly take note. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Honorable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the votes and proceedings of the sixth sitting dated Wednesday, 29th October 2025, as corrected, are adopted as the true record of proceedings. May we now move on to the next item, which is item 6, urgent questions. We have one urgent question who stands in the name of the Honorable Member for Pru East, Mr. Emmanuel Kweku. I heard somebody trying to correct my pronunciation. Buam. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel Kweku Buam.
Yeah,
you may ask your question now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on Order 88 tray. on his express authorization to seek permission from you to ask the question on his behalf.
Honorable Member, you may do so.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To ask the Minister for Transport the immediate steps the Ministry is taking to increase the number of ferries operating between Yeji and Mankango, given the overwhelming demand and pressure on the existing single ferry.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the immediate measures. The Volta Lake Transport Company has extended its operating hours where feasible to accommodate the growing traffic, prioritize efficient loading and offloading processes to reduce turnaround time, and strengthen its maintenance regime to improve vessel uptime. Mr. Speaker, the medium to long-term solution. The Ministry of Transport continues to pursue a Korean Exim Bank facility for the improvement of the Volta Lake transport system. The project scope covers interventions that will revolutionize transportation and safety of the lake, including the supply of 5 modular ferries alongside the development of landing stages. Mr. Speaker, it will also improve improvement of infrastructure, and this will significantly improve the reliability and efficiency of travel systems we are looking at improving. Travel systems we are looking at improving in order to create an integrated multimodal transport system that will take traffic from the road to the lake. We have done all our studies and we know all the crossing points. We are only pursuing this facility to be able to procure the needed ferries that will be distributed along the Volta Lake to improve upon connectivity. Thank you.
Honorable Member, any further supplementary?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. In the interim, is the Ministry considering maintenance or refurbishment of the existing ferry to ensure safety and uninterrupted operations? Given the critical role of the Yendi-Mankango route in linking the northern and southern trade corridor, has the Ministry considered prioritizing the corridor as a strategic transport route?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this includes the short-term measures that we are taking to improve upon our maintenance regime and also to be able to turn around the loading and offloading time. All those vessels are being maintained because it is a single vessel. We are keeping track on it and maintaining it as it requires, and also improving the services of our workers who handle loading, and also those who do the ticketing, and again, those who are helping the vessel to navigate safely. So we are looking at the maintenance of it because it is a single one. We will not want to have a situation where it will break down and will not be able to serve our people. The maintenance is something of priority to us, and we are keeping to our routine maintenance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, that is the end of the questions referred to as urgent questions. So we'll move on to questions generally, those that are not urgent, and they have before us here the answers. So we'll take question 321, who stands in the name of the Honorable Member of Parliament for Bantama, Mr. Francis Asensu Boache. Yes, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Honorable Minister for Transport what specific measures the Ministry is implementing to revitalize the Metro Mass Transit System at Abripo Junction, to improve efficiency, enhance commuters' accessibility in the Ashanti region, and create employment opportunities for the local economy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, the current operational fleet of Metro Mass Transit Limited, comprising approximately 134 buses, present a significant challenges in sustaining operational costs and expanding services. For this reason, the Metro Mass Transit Limited is implementing measures to renew our fleet and modernize the expansion of our facilities in terms of terminals. This will also enhance and create employment opportunities for the youth. Mr. Speaker, I wish to inform this House that the company is in the process of acquiring new buses, about 500 of them over the short to long term, to augment our operations. These buses will be deployed within the country to optimize existing routes and establish new routes in the underserved areas, of which Abrimpong Johnson will be part. Mr. Speaker, the company is taking steps to implement a 24-hour economy services. This will begin with the vehicle maintenance department and the traffic unit to ensure buses are available around the clock. A comprehensive training program will be provided to operational crew, ticketing staff, and related personnel to enhance service delivery and operations of the Metro Mass Transit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm excited by the announcement of 500 new buses. But Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister provide specific timeline for when the 500 new buses will be procured and deployed? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Metro Mass Transit Limited had challenges. From 2017, they had operational fleet of 1,157 buses. Today, they are 134, meaning that they are in distress. And for that matter, it is taking some time to be able to organize the private investors to invest in the venture. However, with the intervention of His Excellency the President, we are sure that by close of year and early next year, we'll be receiving some new fleet. Thank you.
You see, Honorable Minister, the question answer you publish here refer to it as short to medium term. But when you were reading, you said short to long term. Maybe that is what has occasioned his question. But you didn't say medium term. They are talking about short to long term. And that's why he's asking for some timeline. Now, you said that early next year, at the end of this year or early next year, we're expecting to get new. That one, whether it's 2 or 10 or 1,000, that one too, we don't know. So we are still not guided. Please, can you clarify these issues for us?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The number of buses we are anticipating will come in batches. The fleet will not come 500 at once. The negotiations we are having will come, there are about 3 companies, and they will come in 50s. So this company will supply 50, the other one 50. So we are looking at 150 by close of year and early next year for us to augment our fleet. And also thank you for the correction of short to medium term, but I have it long term on my paper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that the minister has announced that by the turn of the year, the ministry will supply 150 new buses. Given that Ashanti region is the northern region with very serious transportation implication, how many of these 150 will be allocated to Ashanti region and the Abreport Junction terminal to be specific? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I mentioned that from 2017, we had 1,157. Now we are operating with 134. Even if we bring in 150, still, there will still be shortages of the buses. And so I rightly said that we will distribute them in the country, which Abreport Junction will be part. But to the number that will go to Ashanti region, we will look at how the traffic flows and the demand basis that we'll be able to use to distribute. Some people do not even have. And if you look at the transport connectivity within the Ashanti region, it might be better than some other regions that are not properly served. So for us, we will evenly distribute them anytime we have them in our custody. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Member. Now, who is senior? You are the temporary senior?
No, contemporary, same year.
Oh, you are contemporary. You were born the same day. Yes, so that should be considered, since you were born earlier than him.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, if the Honourable Minister may indulge me in respect of this question, he stated that the Metro Mass Transport Company is in distress. And so the buses coming in is upon the intervention of the President. I would like to find out from the Minister if, and they will be coming by the end of the year. And so, Mr. Speaker, I would like to find out from the Honourable Minister whether the funding source, the funding is provided for in the budget. And if so, where is it captured in the budget? And if so, where in the budget is it captured? Please.
Honourable Member, may you read the provision on anticipation? Anticipation. Anticipation. You are inviting the Minister to anticipate how much will be in the budget. You are not talking about the loan facility, but you are talking about how much will be in the 2026 budget.
No. Mr. Speaker, he stated that the buses are coming by the end of the year, this year, the budget year. And so I am asking if it is captured in the budget for 2025. And if it is captured, where in the budget is it captured?
You are partly right, but he was not too specific as to when the buses will arrive. He was talking about, and the Honourable Member used the word 10 of the year.
Mr. Speaker,
but he talked about end of the year or early next year.
Mr. Speaker, so in respect of those that will be coming at the end of this year, Mr. Speaker, was it captured in the budget? And where in the budget is it captured? 2,500.
Well, I'm not the minister, so let's allow the minister to answer. If not, I could have told you that reading the answer, the question you are posing is not based on the answer. but the minister is there to clarify.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. They are saying you have given me a clue as to what to say. But if you listen to me very well, you will understand. When we talk of Metro Mass Transit Limited, they've seen some improvement in their daily activities. For instance, last year, a monthly collection of about 8 million was what they had. From 2025 to date, we've seen improvement to about 14. Based on that, we are able to negotiate with vendors to supply us buses that we can now be paying them or servicing them on some agreed basis. However, we are not here to predict what the budget will be contained with as when we come to Metro Mass Transit Limited. So you wait and see how we will want. If you want, you can put in another question for me to come and clarify how we are procuring the buses.
Yes, now it's your turn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the minister in his answer stated, and I quote, "The current operational fleet of Metro Mass Transit Limited, into brackets MMTL, comprising approximately 134 buses, present significant challenges in sustaining operational costs and expanding emphasis." Mr. Speaker, unquote. Unquote. The emphasis here is sustaining operational costs and expanding services. Mr. Speaker, I would want to find out from the minister if, in the light of this answer or this part of the answer, there are provisions because of the issue of EVs, electric buses. We do know that the ministry introduced such an initiative last year or part of the last administration to curb the operational cost aspect of the operation of Metro Mass Transit. Is the minister considering that as part of the new buses they are going to procure in a way of addressing the operational costs and expanding services challenges as highlighted in the answer? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. This is going to be a mixture of the EVs and the engine buses. You remember that we, as a country, we are not yet developed with the infrastructure for electronics. And whilst we are building the infrastructure, we still have to rely on the engine vehicles alongside. So this supply will have some EVs alongside the engine vehicles. Thank you.
Yes, the last supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to seek a simple clarification and ask the minister if the 134 buses, I want to know if we have a source of funding, a dedicated source of funding. If the minister can tell the House if there's a dedicated source of funding for the buses. Thank you.
You mentioned 134 buses. Maybe you got the number wrong, because the 134 is what is already in operation.
Sure. I wish he said acquiring 500 new buses, Mr.
Even
Speaker.
though he was not specific, he said approximately 134.
Sure.
I find it very difficult to understand, but you haven't asked that question. Approximating 134, I don't know why.
Sure. Mr.
But
Speaker,
he said approximately 134. But it's a 500, that is a new one that
thank you for your guidance, Mr. Speaker. The 500 buses, I am seeking to ask the minister the source of funding for the new buses the government seeks to procure. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I mentioned that we are having a special arrangement with some vendors who we will establish a payment system between Metro Mass and our vendors. And I said that our revenue generation has improved. And based on the improvement we have made in the revenue collection, they have confidence that when they partner with us, we are able to pay them as the arrangement will be. So it's a special vehicle arrangement between the Ministry of Transport, the Metro Mass Transit Limited, and some 3 vendors who are going to supply us the buses. We will manage them together and ensure that we will set aside an account to put all the proceeds inside to be able to service their interests. Thank you.
Honorable members, we move on to the next question, and that is question number 322. It stands in the name of the honorable member for Swami, Mr. John Dakun. Honorable member, you may ask your question now.
Right, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Transport to provide an update on the proposal of government to set up a national airline.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama reaffirmed his government's commitment to restart a transparent process for the establishment of a national airline during the State of the Nation's address. In line with this vision, I inaugurated a task force on the 7th May 2025 to oversee and coordinate all necessary activities towards the realization of this national objective. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to inform this August House that the task force has made significant progress, a business model and operational framework to guide government engagement with potential strategic partners for the establishment of the national airline has been submitted to the Office of the President. Mr. Speaker, the establishment of a national airline is a matter of strategic national importance. It is more than just restoring an airline. It is about establishing Ghana as a vital aviation hub in the sub-region, promoting tourism, creating jobs, and opening up new avenues for economic progress. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Transport remains fully committed to ensuring that the process is undertaken with professionalism, transparency, and fiscal responsibility. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, any supplementary?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to find out from the Minister if you can update us since the President announced this policy, whether you've received any proposals from any potential investors. And if you have, are you able to tell this House who these potential investors are?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the question was for me to address this House with the processes or the proposals that the government has made so far. And I've said that we established a task force that has submitted the business model and again operational framework to guide us engaging our investors. And so it is too early for me to start naming the investors or the proposals we have received. But I can tell you that with this business model, it will be the guide for us to engage those who have presented their proposals to partner government to establish a national air carrier. Thank you.
In essence, you have received some proposals.
Because have you or have you not?
Sorry. I was trying to clarify it for maybe a further supplementary. But if you are in such a haste, I'll allow you to bring, because the answer was very pregnant. And I want to deliver some of the maybe twins or quadruplets. Yes, from your answer, it shows that yes, some proposals have been received, but you are reluctant to name those who have submitted the proposals. Am I right? Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. So that is right.
Honorable Member, any supplementary?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I would have thought that the people's representative would be willing to share this very important information with the people of Ghana if we received any such proposals. The people of Ghana would like to know who the people are. But if you are telling us that you cannot tell us now, we hope that in the near future you give that information to us. So, Mr. Minister, are you able to tell the people of Ghana, in your estimation, when is it likely for us to see our flag in the sky?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, establishing a national airline has a lot to do. After the collapse of the Ghana Airways, we have attempted so many times and it failed. We are guided by it, and for that matter, we are taking the processes as serious as they come. For instance, we cannot have a task force, and they have submitted a business model, they have submitted a operational guidelines or framework for us that we are supposed to use to engage all the proposals we have received from the private sector. We cannot jump now when we have not met with them. We have not seen the capacities or how they can be efficient in delivering to the timelines they will be given to us and fix a time frame. So we will update you at all the stages we will get in terms of when and exactly how we are going to roll out the national air carrier.
Yes, Honorable Member. You have finished your three?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. Yes,
Mr.
Honorable.
Speaker, I heard the minister say that they have received proposals from the private sector. Mr. Speaker, very respectfully, would the minister be kind enough to disclose to us the proposal? Is it in respect of ownership or operations? Is it the case that it is in the area of ownership that they are looking at partnering the private sector, or is in the area of ownership where they intend doing public-private partnership or operations?
Well, it's now going to specifics. You know, the question talked about proposal of government. Now, you have also received some proposals from private sector. And he wants to know the proposals in what respect?
Right, Honorable Speaker, we are looking at a PPP model, and government would not want to have so much control over the public-private partnership arrangement we are having. However, I said that this business model is what is to guide us going forward. So I would think that we will use the model and assess all the proposals that are brought to us and be able to determine what level will government participation be in the air carrier, or how much shares will government have in the proposed air carrier. And so I will want to say that we will use the business model to guide us going forward in the selection of a model or a business model which will be communicated to you. I thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I reference the Minister's answer to question 322, second paragraph, where he talked about the government having, or a task force having provided a framework to guide government engagement with potential strategic partner for the establishment. However, subsequent follow-up, the minister is saying that they have received some proposals. And my question is, what is it that has led to the government moving, because here you're talking about a strategic partner. Now you have moved to receive proposals. What went into that movement to go into proposal receipt? The business model that you have developed, is it possible for you to share that business model to this House? Because we have not seen any publication about government opening up proposals for either competitive tendering or competitiveness in any airline in this country. Yet government have already received proposals. So I think the minister needs to come very clear to us. This is a house of records. When did government open up for any company or businesses to submit proposals? And what is the government take in making sure that the people of Ghana are served with adequate information on the model and the proposals that you have received? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the question itself is not too clear. You see, the question is to ask the Minister for Transport to provide an update on the proposal of government, an update on the proposal of government to set up a national airline. But the reference is to a declaration of intention by government to set up an airline, not a proposal. And so when you say an update on the proposal, it means there's already a proposal of government. But what you refer to is a declaration of intent. Is that like how Ghanaians always say we gained our independence on the 6th of March, 1957? No, that was the day that there was a declaration. We didn't gain it that day because we are still under the Queen of England. So we're not independent. We still had a Governor General. In fact, it changed from Governor to Governor General. And all our laws, it's not the same. All our laws were still assented to by the Queen. We only had a Prime Minister, head of government, but we are not independent until the 1st of July, 1960. That is when we got our real freedom and independence, and we became independent to make laws by our own selves, assented to by our president. It's the same Declaration of Independence in the United States of America, 1776. But you know, almost a year it took them before they gained their independence and became united, which was around 1868. That's a long time. So when you say that government's declaration of intent is now turned into proposal of government, and you are looking for update on that proposal. You are putting something on nothing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your guidance and education. In fact, we are grateful. Mr. Speaker, I seek your guidance again. The question, yes, but we are now looking at the answer. The answer that was given by the minister, which is captured here, and also the follow-ups that the minister has given to the House. That is what we are asking, and that is what we are seeking clarification on the answers and or further answers or questions. The Speaker, for example, you made there's a business proposal which the minister has mentioned here. Now we seek to ask that is a proposal or the partnership, the ownership partnership or operational. Mr. Speaker, that is what we seek to ask. But when you, yes, so Mr. Speaker, it is not with our question, but it is with the answers, the follow-up and the answers that have been given by the minister. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
You see, honorable members, I went through the answer, and you realize that in the written answer, the minister did not refer to proposal. He only said, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama reaffirmed government's commitment to restart a transparent process for the establishment of a national airline during the State of Nations address. In line with this vision, I inaugurated a task force on 7th May 2025 to oversee and coordinate all necessary activities towards the realization of this national objective. Then the rest follow. So there is no proposal in the answer.
Speaker, very respectfully, if I may assist. Mr. Speaker, if I may
Your question.
If I may
your
assist.
follow-up question. Your follow-up question solicited an answer from him which referred to a proposal from private sector.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
with respect, Mr. Speaker, you say that there is something fundamentally wrong with my question, but I was very clear in my mind when I posed the question the way I did, because what's the meaning of proposal, Mr. Speaker? Any dictionary will tell you that proposal means a plan or a suggestion. And so there's nothing wrong with the question at all. I was very clear in my mind when I put the question that way. And the minister did not see anything wrong with it. That is why he came here and sought to answer. The various questions coming in are as a result of the answers he gave. And so, Mr. Speaker, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with the question because proposals include plans and suggestions. And we know the president announced that in this House. And that is why I felt the need to ask for updates. So, Mr. Speaker, that's the point. There's nothing wrong. I was very clear in my mind, Mr. Speaker, with respect when I asked the question.
So could you tell us the government proposal? Since you were clear, you were asking for update on a proposal. So can you tell us that proposal that you are looking for the update on? Since you were clear in your mind.
Mr. Speaker, the president had told this House that he intends to set up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Mr. Speaker, proposal includes suggestions. Proposals include suggestions. And the minister did not see anything wrong with it. He came here to answer the question. Mr. Speaker, with respect, I don't think that proposal is wrong to say at all. Because the president came here and made that promise to the people of Ghana. With respect, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member. Honorable member, your attention is being drawn to the rules. It's my duty to guide the House in all what you do. And so when I go through and I see there's a problem, I try to guide by coming with my understanding based on not just language, but experience and application of the rules that we've been using for some time now. I'm surprised for you to hear that a suggestion, yes, suggestion is a proposal. But when you spoke again, you are not looking at it as a suggestion. You are saying an intention. You know, these are technical terms. It's not just ordinary English. And you are expecting that somebody be guided to provide an answer. So when you are talking about update on a proposal in connection with an intention that has been declared, it means at least some things have been put together to guide, and now you are now trying to see how that is being implemented. That's why you are asking for updates. So it's based on that I raise it. And I was just trying to draw attention to the fact that in some of these questions, you need the guidance of the technical people so that you can achieve your aim. So I don't need any fight with you at all, because we are not competitors at all.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Yes, so honorable members, I realize that the minister, in trying to answer the question, also raised a lot of red herrings. You see, and it threw the members and agitated their minds. And so they started asking so many questions, now trying to extract something from you. And you are unwilling to give that information out. But you have already let out the cat. So are you prepared to respond to the last question?
Mr. Speaker, I was clear with the response I gave. You wanted updates on proposals of government to set up a national airline. And I said we have established a task force. They have submitted a business model, an operational framework to guide government in the potential or in the engagement with potential or strategic investors. Then he wanted to know whether we received some proposals. And I said, yes. For the expression or for government to announce that we are establishing a national airline, some people, out of their interest, have submitted proposals which are not yet considered. And I said that it was too early for me to begin talking of proposals that we have not considered them. So it is not that the proposals have been looked through or have been worked on and we are not relating to you. I am only adding information or additional information that people have expressed interest of partnering government or having to do business with government to establish a national airline. But the task force has given us a business model that we are going to use to look through all what we'll be receiving from other private sector investors. So the proposals as we have received are not yet proposals we have worked on or agreed on them. They are just people bringing or showing their interest that they want to partner with government. So they are not yet considered to be called proposal. But your question asks for me to show you government proposal. That is why I mentioned and added that information to you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But Honorable Minister, in the spirit of your own answer, which is very clear in the first sentence, and communicators are here, plenty communicators. You said that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama reaffirmed government's commitment to restart a transparent process. So if that process is transparent, why are you holding back?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The processes, we have not gotten to looking at the proposals. That is why we cannot discuss them. But I was responding to your question asking of the proposal to establish a national airline, which I said, one, the task force, two, the a business model, and three, operational framework to guide. And this is what will guide us to look into the proposal. So we've not gotten there yet.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr.
Let me at least get one of your members first before I come to you, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the task force was inaugurated on the 7th of May, amongst its terms of reference was to develop a robust and sustainable business plan, meticulous coordination and potential strategic and technical partners, rigorous oversight of all necessary regulatory and certification processes, and the crucial groundwork for initial operationalization, including recruitment, fleet acquisition strategies, and route network development. I want to find out from the Minister, now that the business model has been sent to the Office of the President, the task force, are they still at work or they're waiting for feedback from the Office of the President so they proceed with the remaining terms of reference? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, the task force is not dissolved. They are to guide us in having our operational framework and engagement with potential strategic partners for the establishment of the national airline. So they are not dissolved. We are still working with them, and they are guiding the way to select a strategic partner. Thank you.
Yes, honorable member. Oh, sorry. Majority Leader has been on his feet for some time. Yes. After him. Please, you can go on.
Mr. Speaker, very respectfully, Honorable Minister, you've mentioned receipt of proposals. The persons that sent the proposals, how did they know you were receiving proposals in respect of this business? How did they know? In the light of transparency, how did they know you were receiving proposals?
You see, that's why I started by talking about update. You see, update on proposal. That was the questioner. And so we wanted to get that, but now you turn the proposal to the private sector, not government. Yes, can you answer?
Mr. Speaker, I mentioned that we're going to use a transparent way of establishing a national airline. And we have stages at which, when we get to, we will be able to account to our people. Now, for asking me why or how do people know I'm bringing proposals, they are business people. And every day, government receives proposals from people or interested parties to do business with government. And so I am adding the information to you that even though we are at this stage of having a business model, however, we have had the private sector coming with their proposals. And at this stage, we just received them, but not looked with them yet. So it is an addition that I gave to you, not to say that I will be questioning them, why do you bring your proposal? I have not gotten to having proposals, so take it away. No. Our responsibility is to ensure that we have a transparent system of establishing a national airline. And if you bring a proposal tomorrow, I will receive it. But at a time that it will be looked at, we have not yet gotten there. That is what I carried to you. And I'm not sure I can turn any Ghanaian or businessman away from expressing interest in having to partner government establish a national airline. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Leader.
So, Honorable Minister, what I hear you saying is that proposals are being made to government, but government wants to define a business model to determine how to choose a strategic partner. So if we don't know what business model, because there are several business models, you could have a situation where an existing airline just decides to adopt all the routes of Ghana and fly the national flag. You could also have other alternative business models. So unless you have decided on a business model, you cannot really decide what strategic partner to partner with. So is it the case that you are still at the point of determining the business model?
Mr. Speaker, the task force has submitted a business model which we are using to determine which strategic investor to partner with. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, I want to find out from you, in your answer, you are saying that you have seen some proposals. And I want to know how many proposals have you received? And then how many are local or like Ghanaians, and how many are foreign? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I believe I said that we have received proposals. I believe I said we have received proposals, but we have not looked at them. We are not yet there. And that question was asked. That question was asked, and I said the same thing. Yes, we have received proposals, but we have not gotten to the point of going through to know what is contained in those proposals.
Honourable members, we have so many questions. I think that clearly the message is gotten home to all of us that government has not got to a stage that government itself has a proposal. It's just because of the intention that has been declared. Others are now submitting proposals, which, according to him, they are putting a transparent system in place to guide government as to how to even go about looking at the proposals that they are receiving. And that will be guided by government's own policy, even though he referred to PPP as the choice that is being looked at. Maybe at the end of the day, the determination will be made. Let's take it at that, and members are still encouraged to go further into this matter by asking additional questions at a later date after reading the official reports of today. You see how you can rephrase some other questions to bring him back, because he's here to answer questions and he's always available to do so. So I want to plead with members so that we can proceed to the other questions that are for today. Please, with that assurance from those who are asking the questions, we'll proceed to question number 175, which is from the Member of Parliament from Ododo, Mr. Alfred Ni Kote Ashi. Please, you may ask your question now. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, please. Sorry. I didn't realize it was the... We are moving away from transport now to local government, chieftaincy, and religious affairs. So on behalf of the House, I want to thank you so much for attending upon the House and doing all you can to respond to our questions. You will come back again, I'm sure. They will bring you back. Thank you so much for coming. Let's go on to the next minister. Reminder that is Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And we'll start with question number 175, which stands in the name of Honorable Alfred Ni Kote Ashi, Member of Parliament for Ododo. Please, you may ask your question now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs the support government is providing to traders and market associations affected by the frequent fire outbreaks in timber markets, Makola and Kantamanto markets. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the welfare of traders in these markets have always been of paramount concern to government, given their contributions to commerce, employment, and revenue generation. Consequently, whenever fire outbreaks occur in these markets, government responds swiftly and decisively to support affected traders and restore normalcy. Mr. Speaker, after the fires were contained, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly coordinated post-disaster recovery effort, including the removal of debris and restoration of access routes to facilitate reconstruction and safe trading activities. Mr. Speaker, in further demonstration of government's commitment to the welfare of these traders, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, made a financial donation of 1 million Ghana cedis to support the reconstruction and redevelopment of the Kantamanto market. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly also complemented this effort with an additional contribution of funding support to the affected traders. Additionally, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is engaging the traders and market associations to explore the various ways to support and options available for them. Mr. Speaker, regarding the timber market, government again acted through the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to undertake demarcation and lane creation exercise within the market. This initiative was aimed at improving accessibility for emergency response vehicles, particularly fire tenders, and at preventing the spread of future fire outbreaks. Similarly, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is engaging traders and market associations to explore possible options of support for them to enhance their trade activities. As a control measure, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly continues to collaborate with Ghana National Fire Service, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, the market associations to intensify fire safety education, risk assessment, and regular inspection of electrical installations in all major markets, including Makola. Mr. Speaker, these interventions underscore government's unwavering commitment to safeguarding lives, livelihoods, and property, and to ensuring that our market remains safe, resilient, vibrant centers of economic activity for all people in Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, Honourable Member, any supplementary?
Sorry. Right Honorable Speaker, I must say I am grateful to His Excellency the President for the intervention put in place to ensure that market traders are taken care of. Thank you. I'm grateful.
Honourable members, we move to the Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In the minister's answer to the House, he mentioned, and I quote, HC President John Dramani Mahama made a financial donation of 1 million cedis to support the reconstruction. Now, Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister whether this 1 million donation is from the government or from the president himself. Thank you very much.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the Republic donated 1 million for redevelopment and reconstruction, and that money is being implemented by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. That is to the best of my knowledge.
Honorable Member, you are not satisfied with the answer.
With respect, Mr. Speaker, the question really was whether it was from his personal funds or from the government. The minister's answer doesn't do justice to the question I asked, Mr. Speaker, with respect.
That one, that is what he has. Because you don't want him to say something that he doesn't know. You understand? Maybe if His Excellency had been here, we would have asked him, what that money, is it from your personal or is from government? But from his point of view, this is all what that came to his knowledge. And that's what he has shared with you. You may not be satisfied, you may not be happy, but that's what he has. So we can't go beyond that. Please, next supplementary. The gentleman in the red tie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the minister that the 1 million, is it the intention that the 1 million is given to the market women to use the 1 million to construct a market? Because my understanding is that markets are constructed by government. So is the government going to construct the market, or the market women are supposed to use the 1 million to construct the market? Thank you.
You see, you forced me to come in. He didn't say that the money was given to the market women. The answer is clear there. So why are you bringing in the market women here?
Mr. Speaker, very specific, if I may assist.
He said it was made to support the reconstruction and redevelopment. Exactly. He didn't say made to who. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my point, your point, like Mr. Speaker, your guidance is clear, but my point still holds that if it is made to the support of the reconstruction and redevelopment of the Kantamanto market, is it to support them to construct it or to reconstruct it, or it is the amount of money supposed to reconstruct the market? The government, yes. That's the point I want to know from the minister, the Speaker.
The minister even told you who took possession of that money and what that body is doing with the money. It's in the answer of the minister. He mentioned the assembly and said they are using the money to do 1, 2, 3. Please, next supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. If you look at the answer given by the minister, after mentioning the 1 million support by government, he went further to say that the Accra Metropolitan Assembly also contributed some funding to support the traders. I want to find out from the minister how much contribution did they make to support the traders?
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I am unable to give the exact amount the AMA has given in support of that, because they are not only giving physical cash, but when given time, I can let them collate everything, and it will be, the House will be served with that.
Yes, please. Yes.
Respectfully, when you look at the answer of the minister, he's talking about support by government, 1 million. And the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is also complementing that support with an additional contribution of funding support to the affected traders. The question is, who is in charge of the reconstruction and redevelopment of the market? Is it government or the affected traders? Who are these support going to for the purposes of reconstruction and redevelopment? Government or the affected traders?
They want to know who this support is going to.
Mr. Speaker, I think as MPs, we are better placed to appreciate the answer. When they say support is given, it means that is not the total amount that will be used to construct the thing. The traders, by the nature of timber market, the nature of the market that we are talking of, wooden structures are being purchased, woods are being purchased to start the construction. Affected people may not have the immediate amount to be able to do. It is not in government budget. There is no contract for that. As MPs, what we sometimes do when those things happen, we buy some of building materials and donate for the reconstruction to start. And if you look at timber market, the way it happens, government will have to support so that the traders themselves, because when it is bent today, by tomorrow they will start reconstruction. That is where they end their livelihood. So what government does was, oh, I'm supporting with 1 million. You can use 1 million Ghana cedi. You can use the 1 million, buy wooden material, then engage, support it with your own personal resources, and start reconstruction. It is not like a contract is awarded and AMA is supervising the market. Mr. Speaker, that is not it. AMA itself has the responsibility to construct a 24-hour market for the indigents. Every metropolitan, municipal, and district assembly is to engage in construction of their market. That's been budgeted for. But this is a disaster that has occurred, and a relief is being given. So when relief is being given like MPs we normally do, I think, Mr. Speaker, we are better placed to appreciate it, which I think my colleague better appreciate it than he's asking me those questions to answer.
Honorable Minister, they just want to know who that support went to. Who was giving that support? Was it given to the market women? Was it given to the AMA?
Mr. Speaker, government donate through the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to get it reached to the market associations and all that. And all the market associations have been mentioned here. The
Yes.
traders have been mentioned here.
Very clear. Yes, the last person. We'll move on to other questions, so please. I'll be very generous. I said,
Doctor, let me answer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, I believe the demarcation and lane creation affected the size of the land after the exercise. Now, my question is, were there any traders who were affected? And if any were affected, is there anything the government is doing to accommodate them in terms of finding an alternate accommodation for them? Thank you.
yes, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think what was asked was government support. And the support government has given is what I've stated here. If there are further government supports in the course of time, I will let the House know.
Honorable members, you want to stay here till midnight. So if you want to continue, I'll allow you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister what is being done to make sure that the fire does not occur again in the market. Now that it's being built by the market people themselves.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in the answer, I stated that the AMA itself is doing redemarcation of lanes to ensure easy accessibility of utility service providers in case of any fire outbreak. Mr. Speaker, careful measures are being implemented. And you know when it comes to this, we are on top.
Honorable members, we'll go to the next question. The question number 277 stands in the name of the Honorable Member for Manso Nkwanta, Mr. Chunibua Kodua Foku. Sorry? Yes.
I was on my feet, but unfortunately, I didn't catch your eye early.
Yes,
What
is it on?
It's to further ask a question on the, before you move to the next question. I have a question to ask.
I was very clear about the supplementary questions.
Sorry?
I said that was the last supplementary question
I
would
thought
take.
maybe you give some priority to the front bench. You know, normally you do that.
Well, I don't know that you are part of front bench.
For now, I am holding the fort. You know, when your leaders are not available, the available leader, you take over. So I've taken over, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any coup d'etat? Because
you are
not part of the leaders to be available leader.
Yes.
Yes. If you were part of the leadership of the minority group,
yes,
the one that is left is the available leader. If the leader is not there, the deputy is not there, whoever is there is the available leader. But you are not part of the leadership of the minority group, so you cannot be the available leader.
Mr. Speaker, thanks very much for the education. This is the first time I'm hearing this. That if you are not part of the leadership, you cannot be an available leader. Today is the first time. And I will urge honorable members to be guided. You should be guided because this is a very important education. But Mr. Speaker, I am not the available leader. I am here to stand in for the leadership.
The honorable member wants to enjoy the liberties of leadership. I will not question that the source of your authority. I won't question it because I believe that without prompting, you will not catapult yourself to that high class of leadership. So I'll give you the opportunity to ask your supplementary question.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for indulging me. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the questioner asked the support of governments to the traders. And if you look at the minister's response, he started by the donation of His Excellency John Dramani Mahamas, 1 million. So can I conclude that since the question has to do with the support from government, and you mentioning the 1 million from the president, I can conclude that that money is coming from the state, but not him personally. Can I conclude that way, Mr. Speaker? That's my question to the minister.
Honorable available leader. Standing in leader. You know the rules. You don't introduce debate into a question. That is what you are doing now.
I started by looking at the question. The question has to do with the support from governments to the traders, which is where the answer is coming from.
Yes.
I remember a colleague finding out from the minister whether the 1 million was from the president himself or it was from the states. And that question was a way overruled because the president is not here to answer. So I am just looking at the answer and the question, whether I can infer by saying that since the 1 million was mentioned to answer government support,
can we conclude that since we are running the executive presidency, so the president donated that money to traders on behalf of the states? Whether Ma Infera was right or wrong, that is what I want to get from the minister. So I'm not debating it.
Well, that is the point I have taken it. Because as you sit here, if you go to the market yourself and make a donation to support whatever is going on there, one cannot jump on to say that donation you have made is on behalf of the New Patriotic Party or on behalf of the minority caucus in Parliament. You should understand that. It could be your personal, it could be from the caucus, it could be from any source, because the minister did not disclose. He only said it was given to AMA. That one, he was clear. But whether it was personal or it was government, that one he did not tell us.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot be debating the speaker. So I leave it here.
Well,
thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. I want us to proceed on to the next questions. We have so many questions today. Question number 278 stands in the name of the Honorable Member for, 277. 277 stands in the name of the Honorable Member for Manso Nkwanta.
Okay.
Mr. Chinubua Kudua Foko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, status of construction of the 6-unit classroom block at Yauhimin Krom and 6-unit classroom block at Esionyu in the Manso Nkwanta constituency under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program, IPEP, the erstwhile Ministry for Special Development Initiative through the Middle Belt Development Authority, MDA, in December 2024, and the emphasis is December 2024, awarded contract for the construction of one number 6-unit classroom block each at Asiowin and Yauhimekrum, respectively, in the Amansie West District Assembly. I wish to indicate that these projects, though awarded during the last days of the previous administration, as clearly indicated in the authorities' handover notes, could not commence. My recent checks from the Assembly indicate a 0% completion level. Mr. Speaker, you will agree with me that these are legacy projects inherited by the Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, following the realignment by His Excellency the President of the Republic in January 2025. Accordingly, the ministry initiated the process to take nationwide inventory of all such ongoing projects for completion by the various metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Member, any supplementary?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out from the Honourable Minister. I have a copy of the contract here, and that contradicts the date of the award that you gave as December 2024. What I have is 22nd April 2024, a copy of the contract. So if the minister could clarify that. No, what I have, which is a copy of the contract, which was given to the contractor, that indicates that it was awarded on 22nd April 2024 and not December 2024, as you indicated. So clarity, thank you.
Sorry, my attention was being diverted. I didn't even hear the supplementary question. Minister, you heard what he said?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, please.
Mr. Speaker,
please, he is providing the answer. So,
by the handing over notes given to me, the contract was awarded on December 2024. My colleague opposite is saying it was April 2024. And the handing over note says that it was December 2024 and at 0 completion rate. And you are saying it's April 2024 and what completion rate? So, Mr. Speaker, for the sake of accountability, I want my colleague to assist me because the project must be completed. So give me your contract document that you have. I will go and cross-check with the handing over note because that I didn't prepare the handing over note. Those who awarded the contract are those who gave me the handing over note. And that is the Middle Belt Development Authority. So if there are discrepancies, somebody must be held responsible. I need that your document to cross-check with mine. I also need further clarification. Me and you, it's your constituency. I must support you to complete it. So let's work together. Make sure what is the completion rate. It is still 0. If it is 0, why will you award the contract in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? 0 completion rate. We need to do something about it. So I need your document for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
yes,
Thank
honorable
you.
member.
So, Mr. Speaker, I'm ready to reconcile with the minister the document that I have, with me. In terms of the completion rate as well, I would need to have a discussion with you because as we speak, one of the 2 towns, which is Yaohimin Krom, I've seen a 3-unit classroom block done. The shell structure is completed at the same spot that was given to this contractor. So I would want to understand if it's a different contract that has been awarded to a new contractor or who has built this 3-unit, because you're telling me it's 0 completion rate. As we speak, there's a 3-unit classroom shell built there. So I think there's some reconciliation that we need to do on this. Thank you.
Well, honorable member, the question you asked talked about 6-unit classroom block. It never mentioned 3-unit classroom block. Now you are talking about 3-unit classroom block that has been constructed. But your question talked about one number 6-unit classroom block at Yaohimin Krom and one number 6-unit classroom block at Esuohin. Those are 6-unit classroom block, but now you are talking about 3 units.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the reason why I brought about this 3-unit classroom block is the same piece of land that was awarded to the contractor to construct the 6-unit classroom block. And now you would find a 3-unit classroom block on the same piece of land. And you told the whole house that completion rate is 0. So I want to understand the 3-unit classroom block construction, where it's coming from then, if completion rate is 0. That is, Mr. Speaker, that is the question I want to ask the minister. Thank you.
So please, meet the minister and you try to reconcile it. So far as the 6-unit is concerned, nothing has been started. But there is a 3-unit there. So you have to go and reconcile. So we move on to the next question. Question number 278. It stands in the name of the same Member of Parliament of Manso Nkwanta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise again to ask the Minister for Local Government Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs of the status of the ongoing AstroTurf football pitch construction at Pechi number 1 in the Manson Kwanta constituency. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, similarly, the ongoing AstroTurf football pitch at Peking number 1 was being constructed by the Middle Belt Development Authority under the Infrastructure for Poverty Eradication Program in the Amansi West District prior to the change of government in January 2025. Mr. Speaker, my checks from the Amansi West District Assembly indicate that the AstroTurf football pitch was inherited by the District Assembly at 55% completion rate, but currently advanced to 85% pursuant to the provisions made in the 2025 DACF utilization guidelines for legacy project. It is expected that the Assembly will consider completion of the AstroTurf project in due course.
Honorable Member, any supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you for the update. I would want to have an idea the works that have been done by the contractor, of which IPCs have been raised, when he should expect some payments, because he's owed a lot and it's not enabling him to continue the project as he would wish. So if some responses from you. Thank you.
Well, you want to talk about payment? Yes, Minister, if you want to.
Mr. Speaker, as I said, the projects have been handed over to the district assemblies to take over. And progress has been moved from 55% to 85% by my checks from them. So if the honorable colleague is asking of the payment, IPC is pending, contracts and amount paid to them, I think I may have to revert back to the assembly for further clarification. Thank you. And you and me have to work together to make sure we bring finality to the issue.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Minister, I thank you for your responses. I'm happy right from here we can reconcile some of these. My last supplementary question is, Mr. Minister, the stadium, AstroTurf is coming up well, though some payments owed and delaying. There is no stands around it. You know, when you see it, nowhere for spectators to sit and all that. Would you consider varying the contract to include at least some stands for spectators? Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, clearly, all those AstroTurf are going to be community owned, and therefore they must be community supported. That is why we've termed them as legacy projects. When the project is completed, the people will be using it. And that's why the 20% of the DACF money given to them must be spent on those legacy projects. As government, we don't want to abandon any project by our predecessor. And that's why government has given that directive. So clearly, if there's a need for variation to do improvement, myself, your good self, and the DCE at your area must discuss this. Once they write to me for variation to do other things, we'll consider it on merit and proceed accordingly. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, honorable members, let's move to the next question. I thought you finished.
Mr. Speaker, if you permit me, just a point to make.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Minister once again. I believe my DCE is watching us here, and I believe he's going to take the instruction, as you said, that he should be taking over more or less for us to look to completing this project. So I'll work with the DCE and yourself. We'll see how we carry this project forward. I thank you. I thank you very much.
Honorable members, we now move on to question number 309. Stands in the name of the honorable member for Kwadaso. The next three questions all stand in his name. Honorable member for Kwadaso, Professor Kingsley Nyako.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for the opportunity. And I would like to ask the Minister for Local Government chieftaincy and religious affairs, the total number of staff that were in the employ of the development authorities, and the number that have been absorbed into the district assemblies as indicated in the 2025 budget. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the total staff strength of the development authorities was 142 as at June 2025. The breakdown is as follows. Coastal Development Authority, 41 officers. Middle Belt Development Authority, 53 officers. And Northern Development Authority, 48 officers. Stationed in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale, respectively, as well as a satellite offices in Sunyani and Kufuridua. Mr. Speaker, considering the process and procedures for integration into the local government service, the ministry has constituted a team to facilitate and liaise with the Office of the Head of Local Government Service to absorb the staff of the development authorities into the service to be stationed at the beneficiary district assemblies to support implementation of the infrastructure for poverty eradication program project accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for the answer provided. However, Mr. Speaker, the second part of my question, I think, was not addressed. I wanted to know the number that has been engaged by these assemblies, but nothing was said to that effect. So I would like to know from him, out of the 142 indicated, have they all been absorbed? Are they working with assemblies? How many are working with assemblies? That's what I want to know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, absorbing the staff of the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives or the development authorities is not into the local government service. It's not as simple as that. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this because out of these 153, most of them already were in the local government service, where the salaries are low. They were sent on secondment to the development authorities and were given 3 times, 4 times those salaries. So if you are bringing them back to their former positions, Mr. Speaker, there are legal implications. And that is why a committee has been formed to make sure they go into the salary processes, to go into the absorption processes, to make sure that we are able to do the transition smoothly. Mr. Speaker, currently I'm being asked questions under their jurisdiction. Assuming we have done the absorption, without taking cognizance of the inventory of all the projects, which are over 3,000 projects across the country, you will send them and some of the projects will be abandoned because there will be no records of them. So we are not just absorbing them, we are taking inventory of the project, making sure that Coastal Development Authority, they have our 2,000 projects uncompleted. Middle Belt, they have maybe about 1,500 projects uncompleted. Northern Development, they have so and so projects not completed. When you have the inventory, you have the staff, their conditions of service, because the conditions of service of the development authorities are higher than conditions of service of the local government. So you need a rep from Attorney General, a rep from Public Service Commission, a rep from the local government. It must be a coordinated effort. And when that is done, my good brother, Professor Kingsley Nyakun, will appreciate it. Without doing that, even from January today, they are being paid because they are taking all those inventory and work is being going on. So it's not like we've abandoned them or we've sacked them. We've written to Attorney General to make sure that those acts that established them are also repealed so that the acts will not be there. But as I speak to you, work is being done. So if you ask me how many of the 153 have been absorbed, my good professor, we have 37,000 staff in the local government service. We have only 153 in the development authorities. Their conditions of service were about 4 times, 5 times, even though they were sent on secondment to go and work there. Bringing them back is not as simple as that. So these are some of the challenges we are facing. Don't let us trivialize it, but careful strategic human resource management must go on, which we are embarking upon. Thank you, my good brother, for the opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, with respect to my respected leader, Honorable Minister, you know, I admire him a lot. Mr. Speaker, all that is said, the question was not answered. I just need an answer from you. Specific answer. How many have been absolved? Or in other words, the 142 we are talking about, where are they? Where are they? We want to know where they are at the moment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, my brother Professor Nyaku knows that we don't have to be argumentative in our questions, especially the supplementary. So you may not like the answer, but that is the answer. So you can rephrase in your subsequent supplementary. You need time to go and do some other business. So leave the commentaries, ask the questions so that we can bring question time to an end. I'm pleading with you. Thank you, Mr.
Speaker, I don't think litigating this matter. Mr. Speaker is very experienced, and he himself knows that the question is not answered. I wanted to find out how many, but of all that the Honorable Minister said, he couldn't tell us that 2 or 3 have been employed. So my understanding is that these persons are probably in their homes. So then, Mr. Speaker, you should let us know that these are the numbers, because since you assume office, about 8 or 9 months. So please, just let us know how many of them. This is a simple question. Harmless one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You know, the question imputes. The question imputes something. Well, it says that to ask the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, the total number of staff that were in the employ of the development authorities, and the number that have been absorbed into the district assemblies as indicated in the 2025 budget. So we're given the number that were in the employ of the development authorities. And the answer shows that they are still where they are. That is the answer. They are still where they are. They are still being paid the conditions of service they were being paid, because to absorb, which meant that they will have to change their status. You have to do human resource management, which he referred to as a strategic human resource management. That is not yet done. And that is why you need the multi-sectoral sort of committee to handle that. So what I understood him to have said is that they are still where they are. Nothing has happened to them, and they are still receiving the same salaries. Only that the places they are, not all, because I know the Northern Development Authority still exists. And so they have not changed their positions, and that they are still receiving the same salary. That's what he said. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, understandably so, because these were offices established by specific statutes. Specific statutes established those offices. And government announced a policy of abolishing those organizations. Bills have to be brought to this House to repeal them. And then when they are repealed, in the repealing legislation, the issue of how to transit the existing workforce will be catered for. So I can understand why the minister is only engaged in preparatory work towards a transition, but he can only transit them if this Parliament passes the bills repealing them and then provide some guidance by legislation what to do with the existing workforce.
Yes. Yes, you want to ask a supplementary question? Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, so I want to find out from the minister. This staff or officers that is mentioned under the authorities, as at now, they are home and they are being paid for no work done. I just want an answer from the minister.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this answer like this, if they were not at office, like I wouldn't get this answer. They are still working. Even if a public officer is being audited, he must be paid. So we are taking inventory, and they are supporting us to do those inventory. If you want coastal development, they are where they are. You need them to bring information on this, information on that. We are doing proper internal auditing. All this, they are cooperating with us to be able to do it. Other than that, if you just go by executive fiat, by ministerial word of mouth, like we did to the road tools, there will be chaos. As a minister, I just don't want to come and say here that I just come and say that, oh, all of them, they say we are abolishing, so all of you go home. I can't sack them to go home. So clearly, they are receiving salaries. They are supporting us in the auditing and the inventory processes. And so they are working clearly. And I'm not a lawyer. I know constitutionally, you cannot vary the conditions of service of a public office to their disadvantage. And local government, they were paid 4,000, 2,000. Then when they made them President Special Development Authorities, it was multiplied by 3, by 4. Now they say, go back to the local government service. As a minister, can I reduce it back to the 4,000 they were taking? So there are strategic decisions to be taken, and you need to, all of us need to work together. It is not just enough to come and say, I'm a minister, A, B, C, D. So legal, Attorney General has a rep in the committee, and he is advising on how to take the legislative processes to repeal the act. All those, it is part of their terms of reference. And I've written to the majority that we will be bringing proposals for the House to legislate and repeal those laws. They are in the custody. Then for me, it's part of the agenda for Parliament for this meeting. So, honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, some serious work is taking place. And this may not be the first time that such transitioning is happening. I know we have seniors with those expertise who will support us to be able to do that. On that note, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, our orders gives everybody here, with the exception of leadership, at least 2 supplementary questions to ask. This is the second one. So I'm not assuming the position of maybe an available leader. Please, Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the minister's answers. We were all in this house when a statement was made that the authorities have all been collapsed and all the works have been transferred to the various MMDCs. We are all aware of that one. So as we speak, there is no assigned work to any authority because all works have been deployed back to the MMDCs. This is the statement that was made. Now, a question was asked, and in answering, you said there is a difficulty in absorbing these people because of the way they've been migrated or their salaries have been increased. So bringing them back, you have a challenge. You made that statement on this floor. Now, but you say you are not a lawyer. Same, I'm not a lawyer. You have also admitted that you cannot vary their. Oh, leader, just allow me. You cannot vary their benefits to their disadvantage. Now, the question is, if you know you cannot vary their salaries to their disadvantage, then what is the difficulty in absorbing them into the system? That is my question.
Because whatever auditing you are going to do, these people are legally employed. They are legally employed. So you cannot sack them. They are legally employed. So what is the difficulty in absorbing them into the system? Thank you.
Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, please. It's inaccurate for the Honorable Nyindam, the member for Pandai, to say categorically that a statement was made on this floor that the coastal and the middle development authorities have been collapsed and the workforce have been. No, leader said there was a policy decision that the two authorities, in fact, the intention is that they will keep the Northern Development Authority, but the middle and the coastal will be collapsed. But you know that this House must be engaged to enact another law to repeal the two existing legislations. No, so it is the processes that have been explained to you. But so you cannot categorically say that those two authorities have been collapsed and their workforce hived off to another agency and you don't know what is happening. The minister is trying to explain that it's a transitional process. Audit is happening. Project sites are being determined. So please, let's set the record straight on this matter. By all means, ask your question, but let it reflect the actual fact.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, because of the transition, what the standing-in leader fails to recognize was that he was part of this House, which went ahead to enact and pass the budget for 2025, including the salaries of those staff. And because of that, it is being utilized to pay them.
Yes, honorable members, let's move on to the last question. And the last question stands in the name of the same member of parliament from Kodasu. And honorable member, you may ask the question.
Mr. Speaker, is the last but one question. So I'm now going
Is
to
the last
ask,
but one?
Yes, please. So I have two outstanding. So I'm doing three.
Oh, you
three
haven't
10.
asked the one, you want shrines?
Yes, please.
Wow.
This is a very important question for me. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs the total number of shrines in the country and the number of them that are registered. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. My deeper life Christian brother is asking me for me and him to count the shrines. The Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs currently has no concrete records on the total number of shrines in the country. We will consider liaising with traditional authorities, including Honorable Professor Kingsley Nyako, to take stock of all shrines in the country in the very near future. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, please, can you assist us with the definition of a shrine? Because I find it difficult to understand what a shrine means. Shrine.
Mr. Speaker, I asked three separate questions. One of them was to find out about the number of shrines, the number of churches, and the number of mosques in the country for a purpose. All these three questions were admitted. I'm surprised that only the one on shrines was programmed. Because my understanding is that, the speaker, my understanding is that we need to have data. We need to have data. Mr. Speaker, I'll come there. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I was just laying a foundation before I respond to your question. Because we have traditional authorities in this country, traditional religion. And for me, that is where they worship their deities. And it is incumbent on state institutions to ensure that we know the numbers of shrines, of churches, and also of mosques for policy decisions and directions. So I ask this question purposefully because if you live in a society without knowing the numbers of these institutions, then it means that you are making a mistake. That is the epicenter of my question. So I wanted to ask from the minister the number of shrines. And his response to my question was that they don't have data. My follow-up question is going to ask him what he is going to do to ensure that we have data on the number of shrines in this country. That's it. That is the reason why I'm asking this question, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Professor, you realize that I said you were left with the last question. And when you said you wanted, it's left last but one, I said, oh, you want to ask the question on shrines? And you said yes. Well, I realized that you were going to unknown waters. And it's very dangerous to swim in unknown waters. Now you decided to swim in it. And you know you are not part of the culture of worshiping in shrines. A shrine is variously described. You are talking about stools, there are families, there are individuals, there are this. So we talk about number of shrines in the country. It's an impossibility. So I thought that you have realized that maybe the one that printed the question was trying to trick you, because you said the others that you asked for, they didn't include that, but they just limited it to only the shrines. They didn't talk about the mosque, they didn't talk about the church, but they left only shrines. Now, it will be very difficult for a minister to know the number of shrines in the country. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister whether he thinks the MPP is looking for shrines. Whether he thinks the MPP is looking for shrines.
Honorable Professor, the Majority Leader is out of order. So, Majority Leader is out of order. He's completely out of order.
Mr. Speaker, I hope the leader of the House, who is very, very much respected, is not in any way trivializing the import and impact of this question. I thought deeply before asking that question. It's because he is a minister.
Professor Honorable, please, you are also out of order. May we proceed to the next question, and let's discuss the other one outside the plenary session. So please, we move on to question number 311. Honorable members, please. This is not a matter for the House alone. It's a national issue. And so what you said so far is sufficient. Let's move on to the next question and then know how to handle these matters. Sometimes they are very sensitive matters. You don't joke with them. So please, may we move on to the next question. If you don't want guidance, I'll allow you. Because I don't want to gag any member. Express your views and you'll be assessed accordingly by Ghanaians. So anybody who wants to continue, I'll allow the person. Yes?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the Minister, is there any legal protection for victims of shrine? Because I know per the Constitution, Article 21(1)(c) allows for freedom of religion and practice. Allows for freedom of religion and practice. So I'd like to know whether there's any legal protection for victims of traditional shrines. Because you know about double money, put money in the pocket, and all sort of things that is going on. So I want to know from the Honorable Minister if there's any legal protection for such victims.
I thought I have drawn the attention of the House that it's a good guide for me that we are entering into unknown waters. And it's not advisable to be swimming into unknown waters. So let's leave it there. There's still a lot of work to be done in that area so that you have some clarity as to how to phrase your questions. This one you have phrased, if I allow, the conversation, it can raise a lot of issues that may touch other people, our own people who are not part of this discussion. So please, let's leave it as it is and then move on to the last question. So, Honorable Member, you may ask your last question.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs the measures the ministry has implemented to promote and deepen religious tolerance and inclusivity in the country. Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, following the realignment of the ministry to include the erstwhile Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs in January 2025, and upon my assumption of office, we have embarked on a series of reforms and roll out strategic activities aimed at strengthening and deepening religious cohesion, tolerance, and inclusivity in the country. Among these are: 1, engagement with the leadership of the religious bodies and groups; 2, participating in their anniversaries and meetings to address issues of unity and to encourage coexistence; 3, introduction of the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Day to foster religious tolerance; 4, constituted the Ministerial Advisory Board of the Ministry with membership from the leadership of the different faiths; 5, regional engagement to address succession issues and other leadership altercations, and paying courtesy calls periodically to various religious leaders to dialogue on issues of tolerance. Mr. Speaker, the draft policy on religion has also been revised to include activities on tolerance and inclusivity. Additionally, inter- and intra-faith conflicts have been addressed at the ministerial level, and where the need arises, refer to the appropriate religious body for redress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Member, any supplementary?
Mr. Speaker, the Minister in his response did indicate that they are in the process of working on the draft policy on religion, a revised policy on religion at the drafting stage. I'd like to find out from him, when is it going to be finalized? Thank you.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I will be meeting the committee on the 6th of November. So because of that, I'm unable to give the timelines. But when I meet them on the 6th of September, and after briefing me, I will be well positioned to give the accurate timelines to the House in order for me not to mislead this august House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Speaker, my last supplementary question on this question is looking at the measures taken so far. I've seen some progress being made, but what I want to find out from the Honorable Minister is if it's appropriate for the ministry to consider also engaging not only the religious actors, but outside the religious bracket. For example, the academia, CSOs. How do we engage them for them to champion the acceptance and promotion of religious tolerance and inclusivity? Because if you leave it for only those within the religious space, they might not do much. So I don't know your take on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's a good advice, well taken. And Professor Kingsley is a very good friend. That has been very helpful to the ministry. So it is well taken. And thank you for your advice.
It's also important for me to add that even in this House, we have freedom of religious beliefs and practice. And we have been holding meetings, and we are being led by the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, ACEPA. And so we've even got a regional organization, and we've been holding workshops and conferences on it. And Ghana is seen as a lead in this matter. In fact, there is some funding support, and some members of parliament here have been attending those workshops in other countries because they are learning from the shining example of this country where we've been able to live together in peace and stability in spite of the numerous religious beliefs in the country. So those of you who want to join that group, you are at liberty to do so. There's funding for it, and we've held a number of workshops here in Ghana, and we received members of parliament from sister African countries to deliberate on this topic you are talking about. And that is why I was drawing your attention to the issue of shrine, because it is something that is being discussed, and we know how sensitive that thing is. And so much work has to be done, as you said, research and all those things. So civil society organizations are involved, think tanks are involved, and we are working together on this matter. I thank you for your understanding, but you want more supplementary questions? Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have a supplementary question on the religious tolerance and inclusivity. Mr. Speaker, the President appointed a minister responsible for not a minister for prophecy, a presidential staffer responsible for prophecies, Elvis Afri Ankra. And this...
I don't know whether you have evidence of the appointment, because I'm not aware, no communication has come from His Excellency the President to this House as official, but if you have, you are at liberty to go on.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the Presidency is still to come up with a list of presidential staffers in accordance with the laws of the country. And then when that comes, we'll be able to push that. But we know presidential staffers have been appointed, and we are also reading in the news that one of those appointed responsible for religious prophecy was, Elvis Afri Ankra. Mr. Speaker, the question I would like to put to the minister is, how do we reconcile? Because I see that move by the president in line of religious tolerance and inclusivity, but how do we align that with that of fake prophecy in a country where a lot of fake prophets are causing fear and panic? What is the fine line the ministry is drawing between this fake prophecy and religious tolerance in the country, Mr. Speaker? This is my question to the minister.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, you try to assist the honorable member for Wale Wale to reframe his question, but he persisted in misrepresenting that the president appointed a presidential staffer for religious prophecies. That clearly is not true. There is a staffer assigned with responsibility for diaspora relations and religious affairs. But there's no staffer responsible for prophecies. So I think that you should retract that and continue with your question. I think this is very important.
Yes, honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure what the leader of the House is saying is no different from what I'm saying, because when he reads the full title of that appointment, the full title of that appointment is here. It's Presidential Envoy for Interfaith and Ecumenical Relations to Spiritual Leaders. Mr. Speaker, that was the long title of the appointment. Presidential Envoy for Interfaith and Economical Relations to Spiritual Leaders. Mr. Speaker, simply put, and for the want of a simpler expression, the envoy responsible for, prophecies, and he mentioned that he is to receive all prophecies. And that after some time, he was complaining that the prophecies were now too much, too many for him to collect, Mr. Speaker. This is a matter of public record. So it's not me making this, Mr. Speaker. The person appointed stated that he was receiving too many prophecies, and that the prophecies should stop. They should prophesy about the divorce, not death. And the leader of the House is saying I'm representing a fact, unless, of course, what I'm presenting is not what is out there.
Honorable member, what you are referring to is a matter of public discourse, but we're looking at evidence that you can rely on as legal, and that is what you are looking at. You said that if they submitted the list of presidential staffers, I was going to read from that list that somebody has been appointed, and you use a different language. Now you are reading another phraseology, which somebody has just sourced from his mobile phone, different from what you earlier stated. So you see, we cannot depend on just public discourse and ask questions. You should have done some background check to know what the letter of appointment actually stated, and then you base on it to ask your question. Because they are listening to us, Ghanaians are listening, and they are interested in this. But I thought that as a good Christian, I hope so, as a good Muslim, it is in the Holy Quran stated clearly as to what is happening is about. It's there. It's in the Holy Quran, and it's also in the Holy Bible about prophecies, and that the time will come and you are going to have so many of them. I don't know whether it's Surah 105 or not. The speaker shall not be misled. Yes, so, honorable members, let's leave it at that. I think the person who asked the question is satisfied, and I can't even see him in the House again. So please, it's been a very long day, and I've been presiding for more than 4 hours now. I don't think it's healthy for me. So with your indulgence, we may try and put finishing touches by some concluding information before we adjourn the sitting. Yes, leadership. I will, on your behalf, thank the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs for attending upon the House and answering satisfactorily the questions that have been raised by members. We thank you for coming. Yes, senior Member of Parliament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the indulgence. I rise to make an observation regarding how we conduct ourselves when Mr. Speaker is addressing the House. Mr. Speaker, during this question time today, Honorable Nyindam, the MP for Pandai, while asking a question, you tried to guide him. And in the process, the honorable member kept standing while you were speaking or addressing the House. The same was also exhibited by the honorable member for Manso Nkwanta, Honorable Tinubu Akubia. And I thought that this matter must be made clear so that we all oblige. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, I refer to Order 1262, which reads as follows. Whenever the Speaker addresses the House, any member standing shall immediately resume the member's seat, and the Speaker shall be heard in silence. Mr. Speaker, this is the observation I have made, and I thought that I should make it clear in order that we don't abuse the orders. I thank you very much for your indulgence.
Yes, thank you so much. That is the longest serving member of parliament in Ghana. Yes. So, honorable members, on this matter, we have always provided annually the opportunity for caucuses to hold workshops. I expect leaders to lead their members to go into the details of these standing orders, particularly the ethics, the etiquette, the language, which we refer to as parliamentary language. But it looks like that is not being done. The basics that we take you through during orientation is not sufficient to mold you into a professional career member of parliament. And so it's been difficult, but the speakers are hesitant to try to exercise some powers because we need to work to build consensus. So that's why we don't go hard on you. But it's important that you take time off to go through these things because you'll be going to other countries to participate in conferences and other things. And they observe you a lot as you get up to put across your points of view on the matters that are being discussed. And the body language, the words you use, and how you dress, all those things count in making you an honorable member of parliament. So it's an important issue he has raised. There are more I've observed when the speaker, for example, is addressing the House, no member of parliament is expected to get up and walk out of the plenary session. But that has been the common lesson here. and particularly when members are engaged in conversations and the speaker is drawing their attention and it's like it's nobody's business. It doesn't work properly because even though we are trying to get our system here to go according to the rules and guidelines for airing the proceedings of the House, we've not yet got it right. And so members should be very careful because all these are used to assess you for the next elections. It's not just what you come to tell them. The members watching, and particularly now that we have our own dedicated channel, TV station, it's important for you to change. And please, nobody comes into Parliament just to stay for only 4 years. Unless those who come and get so disappointed, they want to go back. Because some may think that here is better. When they come in, they realize that what they've been reading in the papers is not what actually takes place here. And so they get disappointed and they decide voluntarily not to contest again. And that has added to the high attrition rate of members in the House. So it's a very important point, very cogent one. I thank you so much for drawing the attention of the House. And members, without much ado, Deputy Whip. Sorry, you were Deputy Whip before.
Mr. Speaker, once a leader, always a leader.
I understand now.
Thank you very much. I just want to, because my name was mentioned, I'm grateful you gave me the opportunity to have a word. I think that obviously I will not debate my uncle, who happens to be one of the longest serving members of Parliament, who is preparing to exit this House very soon. I've taken his counsel, and Mr. Speaker, I've taken cue of whatever he said, and I ideally want to thank him for that observation. Just like you have rightly said, these are things that we all have to take note. But Mr. Speaker, I thought your intervention was going to be short, so I stood up. But when I realized that it was going to take some time, I took my seat. Because once a deputy whip, I duly know some of these rules, and I would definitely be the last person to violate them. But just like he said, I agree with him. And I don't think such will repeat from my side. And it's a good advice to all of us. Mr. Speaker, I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity.
I'm not sure the honourable member is preparing to exit because the longest serving member of Parliament in the world is Sir Winston Churchill, and he was in Parliament for over 50 years. So he is just starting. He's now getting to 30, about 29. And then you end up at 32. No, it's still too young. We expect him to go more. Yes, so, and you know that in the United Kingdom, if you ask for the best prime minister, they will cite Sir Winston Churchill. Yes, so please, let's encourage members to be career members of Parliament, professionals, that we can all be motivated to work even better than what they've done, to be guided by whatever they do. Don't discourage people from staying long in the House. That's not correct. With this, I will proceed to adjourn the House.
Mr. Speaker, we're wondering if, because tomorrow is Friday, whether we want to sit earlier in the day or we should maintain our 2 p.m. Sitting time. Fridays, members may want to start traveling early enough. And so if we could sit in the early part of the day And, Mr. Speaker, your two deputies are not immediately available. So,
yes, honorable members, just raising the issue of when to commence sitting tomorrow. Because tomorrow is Friday, do we start early, 10 in the forenoon or 2 in the afternoon? Yes, please.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I wouldn't have opposed the submission by the leader of government business, save that I think you have a program at 10 o'clock. I don't know if, and I'm sure that perhaps we considered the time that you were going to start. We are going to start tomorrow at 2, and that was the reason why we put the program at 10. But that's subject to your further directions. I'm sure we are minded to start at 10. Yes.
Yes, honorable members, my attention is being drawn to a very important meeting with our partners from the Interparliamentary Union tomorrow morning. And myself and leadership are expected to be part of it. My two deputies are not available, and both of them are on assignment. And so if I have to be part of this meeting, the only option is for us to start in the afternoon. Yes, so I'll proceed to adjourn the House to tomorrow, Friday. Sorry. Any other thing? To tomorrow, Friday at 2 in the afternoon. The House is accordingly adjourned.